Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently working our way through enacting homesteading, and if we manage to pull this off, that's going to be a big win for us. So that is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, we'll do some Sunni rights movement. That seems okay. So we're going to be finishing up this opium plantation fairly soon. How are we doing on our gold reserves? Okay. We need to get our finances a bit more under control, but that is part of the purpose of doing these opium plantations. We absolutely do want to get some cash crops going here. So let's get that done. And then we're probably going to have to hold off on construction for a little bit because we are going into debt. And that's understood. We're not surprised about that necessarily. Current population growth is about 0.5%. Okay, noted. So that's reasonably fine for now. There's that opium plantation finished up. So plus 1.25 at this moment, huh? Okay. So that's absolutely understood, and we are expanding opium plantations. Okay. That's probably for the best, like I said. So at this point, we have an opium plantation here, and the question is, how many people is it employing? Well, it's a decent amount for right now. There's an iron shortage because Kandahar is isolated. That's this out over here. We knew that that would be the case. So what's going on here? Construction sectors, tooling workshops? Probably tooling workshops would be my guess. But this shortage likely means that we are hiring in here, would be my guess. Yeah, we're only at 4.1k. So we really, really don't need to build more iron mines. We really don't. Hey, we progressed to adoption on homesteading. That's really good. I'm very pleased about that. So we don't need to worry about this iron shortage for the moment. I'm going to right-click on that because we don't actually care. What we need is this to get filled out, right? So that means that the price of tools is pretty good. The price of coal is pretty good. So we just need people here, is what that means. Okay, we're just lacking workers in that regard. So we're working on homesteading at this moment, and we're gonna be in debt here for a little while. That's understood. How are we doing on our bankruptcy? So 6 years remaining on that. Okay. That's definitely improving things for us as that gets better. So with that understood, I want to take a look at Russia here. What do we got going on here? They're not doing anything. They're trying to improve relations with Britain. Actually, Britain is improving relations. Okay. So Russia's trying to damage relations with us, but we're improving relations with them, so it's currently completely even. Let's see what happens with homesteading on this tick. There's some chance, a 26% chance, that it just goes through, and that would be delightful. It went through. Beautiful. So that is absolutely huge. The fact that that went through, that means that the landowners just lost 50% of their political clout. That is unspeakably huge. So with that in mind, next up, we absolutely need to go for religious schools. No one's really opposed to this, so we should breeze through that pretty quickly. And that will give us a lot more education access, which is very important. There's a famine in Persia. Where is this? This is in Kandahar. Okay, so that is this out over here. Now, the problem here, of course, is that it's not connected to the rest of our territory, right? It has no market access. And that means it's just kind of on its own. So we should probably be producing additional food here then. Yes. We should definitely be trying to produce additional food here. So let's go in here, and we should probably boost up our number of wheat farms, although I feel like we have too many vineyards. We can't get rid of that because there are no owned levels either. Those are all privatized. Okay. So that's understood. Cotton plantations, opium plantations, tea plantations. The core issue here, I think, is we would love to get Herat under our control. If we did that, we would need, just taking Herat would do the trick. Hazaristan would not. This would be 7.3 infamy. What do we got going on here? So Great Britain has no preference for Herat. They're not able to support Herat because they're allied to us. Russia has minus 16 preference to support Herat, and minus 70 preference to support us. I think unless we can get Britain involved here, Russia will probably intervene. That's the core issue. So the question is, can we get a guarantee from Britain that they would actually do this? So we don't have... Actually, multilateral alliances hasn't been researched by Great Britain, so we can't even do an alliance with Great Britain as of right now. Okay. We cannot fight Russia while we have the bankruptcy penalty, for sure. 1,000%. That is not... Another interesting option would be to potentially go after Kandahar down here instead of Herat. If we were to do this, we would need to take, at the very least, Baluchistan, northern Baluchistan. So that would be this state here. That would be less infamy. It's roughly the same amount of preference. Okay. Kandahar only has 2 battalions, though. This would be an easier war. They have a 44% chance of just accepting it as well. Let's give this a go. Do we get lucky? Well, we'll see. They're currently fearful, and Britain would actually be swayable. Surprisingly, so would Russia. Hang on. That's very interesting. So we can't get to these fronts here, but all we're interested in here is Baluchistan. Maybe we'd be interested in taking some of these other locations. So we would want to take, like, ideally everything here. So this would be, yeah, that wouldn't be all that much, actually. So it would be something like this. That'll bring up our infamy a little bit. And we'll add these to the primary demand, like that. Okay, so now Russia is still interested in potentially being swayed here. But I think we're more interested in getting Britain involved. We don't want Russia to intervene. Okay, so at this point, if we attempted to sway Russia, we would need to sway them with war goals. Make protectorate. Kandahar protectorate, but Kandahar would no longer exist, right? What about Britain? What would we need to do them? They would accept make protectorate, and they would also accept with become protectorate. Would that be us becoming their protectorate? It didn't pop up a confirmation there. We might be Britain's protectorate now. Honestly, that's not the worst thing, though. I'm not sure who is going to become Britain's protectorate here. That's the real question at this moment. And I mostly just wanted Britain to come in here to prevent Russia from coming in, right? That was the idea. Russia did side with Kandahar there, by the way. So let's mobilize this, and we're going to head out over to here. And then I'm going to mobilize these guys. They're going to head up to here. So Russia did join in on this, and that's going to get very awkward then. Wait, what's the actual status of this? Hang on. This became part of the Great Britain versus Kabul War? That's noted. So there is this British army coming in here. We should be able to wipe this up pretty quickly. The real question is, can we hold on this front? And this guy is absolutely going to need to be on defense. So that is understood. Okay, so mechanical tools have been unlocked. That's all well and good. This is going to get very awkward over here. Okay, so that's this diplomatic play. So Russia is currently swayed over to Kandahar. But Britain is on our side. So they are currently cocky. Understood. So this war is definitely becoming a thing, right? But Britain is on their way over here, and we should, in theory, be able to push our way through here. Now, this is going to be very painful up here. No doubt about that. But with the British forces down over here, and in theory, the East India Company forces on their way in as well, that's what's really going to turn the tide here. If we look at the British Raj here, we can see that the British Empire is the #1 power block. British Raj is the #8 power in the world. But we absolutely need to get a connection over here. So that's understood. We're going to have these forces push into Kandahar as quickly as we can, with the idea being we're just going to try to hold off up over here. And that's going to be painful. That's going to be very painful. Can we split this army? Because I don't think we need this entire army here, to be honest. I'm going to put in a commander here. He has adamant defense. And then I'm going to put in another commander here. He has pillage. And what I want now is I want to transfer these units to some of these units to a different army here. So I'm going to transfer like 10 and 3. This is a little bit over half. Actually, let's just do half. And then that'll be fine for now. So we'll confirm that. And now this guy, is he the adamant defense guy? Or is he the pillage guy? Where does it say? Defend front? Okay, he's the pillage guy. I want this guy up over here. So he's going to be the adamant defense, and we're going to send him up over to reinforce this. That's going to be necessary. So we're going to head up there, and we're going to leave this army down here. The real problem, of course, is that we're going to need to get all of this knocked out very quickly, because we're going to have a hard time up here, even just in pure defense. It's going to be rough, unless Britain comes in and reinforces us. Okay, low organization up over this direction. That's understood. That organization will creep upward, but this war is going to be breaking out very shortly. So that's understood. Okay, the war with Kandahar has broken out at this point. So we are working our way in here, and Kandahar should be taken out pretty quickly. Ah, look at this. A British army heading up to this front. That's exactly what we want to see. Now, we're probably going to lose these defensive battles up here. That's expected. 100% that's expected. So 10% enactment success chance on religious schools sounds good. I want these guys down on this front for right now. We don't need to be pushing this front for the moment. Okay, so that looks good. The British are going to push this front for right now. And with some British reinforcement up here, we should be able to hold them off and slow them down through these mountains. We're not going to win on this front. That's not expected. All we have to do is slow them down enough. Also, are we currently a protectorate of Britain? Yes. Okay. So we did become a protectorate of Britain. To be honest, I'm okay with that. I wish it had popped up a confirmation on that, though. I may have not done it. But I think it's okay for now. We'll break free eventually. So we still have these guys as a vassal. I just wanted to double check that. That's fine then. Yeah. So all we need to do is hold this front. And actually, this is turning at this point. Whoa, those guys just came. Those guys are zooming. Okay. So that's all fine for now. We're going to get Kabul, and we're going to get the rest of Kandahar taken over very soon here. But by using Britain in this way, that's going to make things a lot easier for us going forward. And I think because we're a protectorate, that will give us more ability to attack other British protectorates that are over here, I think. So we'll double check on that, but that's my current theory. Okay. Also, we're in the British market now, which is going to make things a lot easier for us economically. These guys want to increase autonomy. I'm going to decline that. So that's understood. This is currently at high autonomy. It's not moving, and I think that's probably... Yeah, they're currently damaging relations with us. Okay. Kabul is now a protectorate. That's understood. So that war is now over. And all we've got is this war at this point. So I just want to press all of these claims. They wouldn't accept this right now, but they will soon. And all of these guys are going to head right on up over this way. So Kabul is now under Great Britain. And my question is, can we go after any of these? Maybe not. But I do want to come over here and begin improving relations with our ally. So that'll be, or rather our vassal. So that'll be fine. And we'll send some forces up over here to help hold off the Russians. This front is going nowhere fast. And that's exactly what we want to see. Okay, so they have 43 reasons to not accept this peace deal at this moment. All we have to do is hold the Russians, and the British are going to handle that for us. Excellent. And Kandahar capitulates. Perfect. So that is now done. This territory is now fully under our control. So we do have a famine in Persia, but we should be able to get this done. British market is 100%. We do need to incorporate some of these states. So we should probably go ahead and do that. So incorporation, here we go. Okay, so that's going to put us at minus 214. But because we're in the British market, things are a lot better for us economically. So the food supply down here is going to be a little rough, but British market access is broadly okay. So Kabul is damaging relations with us. That's hilarious. Out of curiosity, so British Raj here, I'm wondering, is there anything that we can actually do here? No, unfortunately, no. We're going to have to break out. Okay, that's fine. That's understood. We'll do that eventually. So minus 15% enactment time sounds good. Or maybe we won't try to break out from Britain. I don't know. It kind of depends on how this goes. For the moment, this is looking reasonably fine. Kandahar still has this down here. We will go after that eventually. So our colonization is continuing up this way, and this silk plantation currently being worked on. I do want to, well, what I really want to do is I want to get our education going, right? That's what we're really lacking right now. We need to get these government administrations working. We are on simple organization right now, but we could go to filing cabinets, and I think we should. That is going to spike the price of paper, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and run that. That'll boost up our bureaucracy a decent amount, and let's see what that's going to do to paper. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So the paddle steamer has been unlocked. That looks good. And our religious schools have passed into adoption. So that seems great as well. Now, I wouldn't mind necessarily attacking Herat here pretty soon. They do have 51 battalions, but, I mean, if Britain joins with that... As a hypothetical, Britain would have 39 preference. I kind of feel like we can do it at this point. So it would be something like this, and I just started that. They're going to decline it, of course, and we're going to mobilize... I'm thinking, who do we want to mobilize here? Well, we're going to want to mobilize pretty much all of them. It's going to be a little rough for us. We'll see if Russia joins. But the plan here is to utilize Britain, and then we'll get Herat under our control. So that'll be fine. Kabul here, of course, is under Great Britain. So that is understood. So at this point, we're going to need to get Britain on our side. And Britain is currently leaning towards us because we're their protectorate. And we could just sway them with obligations. Done. So that looks good for now. We'll get Britain swayed here. And I don't think Russia is going to join in on this one. We'll see. Russia does view Herat as protective. So there is that. Okay. So at this point, Netherlands is currently leaning towards us as well. But that's absolutely understood. So, I messed this up. Okay. I definitely messed this up. I intended to take more than just Herat. I intended to take Herati Hazaristan too, but we're not the war leader because Britain joined and they're our overlord. So we can't actually demand that, and they demanded Herat Protectorate. That's on me. That is my fault. Understood that we need to do that. Okay. Well, it's absolutely fine. We will get that dealt with soon enough. I did not intend to give Britain a small protectorate right here. But, I mean, they've already got Kabul, so there's only so much that we can do. I still don't think that Russia is going to intervene in this, to be honest. Herat should just capitulate, to be honest. So what's our current opinion with Russia? It's neutral, and it's actually going up at this point. Russia stopped with that. That's fascinating. Okay, so the stock market exchange has been finished. That's a good deal. I do want to work out over here. What is this earning recognition here? Rank is equal or greater to great power. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So the progress bar has to reach 200. Okay. So we need to abolish slavery. We need to not have traditionalism. We need to get our literacy up and GDP per capita and standard of living up. That's all stuff we were going to do anyway. So that seems fine. We can't get off of traditionalism just yet. We can't get off of slavery either. We do have religious schools at this time, and there's not a lot of law changes that we can do. Okay, can we do any decent government reform? No. Well then. So there's very little that we can do here about actually earning this recognition, other than just attempting to get our literacy rate up, which we are. But we're definitely going to need to get those removed. So that's understood. This will escalate on up, and Britain is on their way in with some small amount. But yeah, we're definitely going to have to change how we do this. We need to make all of our demands before we bring in Britain. That is a lesson learned. Okay. So that's absolutely fine. And having access to the British market is actually very, very useful for us. That means that we don't have to produce everything ourselves. Although we're going to want to eventually if we go for independence from Britain. But for now, this is relatively okay. So we are winning this battle even with our bankruptcy malice. That's absolutely great. How long is that bankruptcy malice? Let's see here. 4 years? Sure. So that sounds good. I do want to get some people put to work. So let's take a look here. 1.08. That's a sizable increase. I like it. So that's good. We do have some peasants and some unemployment. Absolutely a thing. Okay, well, let's just get Herat under our control for now. This is not going to take very long. Locust swarms. Well, that's unfortunate. So I do want to start getting some resource production done. My question is, how much would we earn from iron mines? Okay. I think the rule for now is going to be as long as we're earning at least 500, we're going to build it. So that means that we would build here, and we would keep building here until that's maxed out, or it drops below 0.5. One or the other. So like that for now. So that's a lot of iron mines, or rather coal mines, right? And we do the same thing for our iron here. So that's now maxed, and then this would go to like here, and then we'd move on for now. I don't want to build too many of all of this, right? So this is all absolutely fine. Logging camps, this is actually going up. Hilarious. Okay. Well, that's absolutely fine for now. This is in Arabistan. I don't actually want to build in Arabistan. That is here. There we go. So next would be here. That was in Arabistan again. Unfortunate. Well, we'll get back to that. Okay, so we would just continue to build some of this down over here. The idea behind all of this is simply that we need to be harvesting some raw resources at this time. So something like that is what we'd be doing. And I want to cancel this one. Okay, so we'll get going on that. It's going to take some time. We've got a decent amount of gold reserves right now, so that seems okay. After we're done attacking Herat, I want this to... I want to go to a bit of a peacetime footing for a little bit here and let our infamy drop down a bit. And get some construction done. I want to get these raw resources underway. That's going to be very important. So that's all looking good. Once we're done with the raw resources here, we'll probably do some agriculture work. Someone else just started a conquer state against Herat. Well, that's awkward. We were here first. Get out of here, nerds. Okay, Herat just capitulated, so that's perfect. As expected, they are now... this remnant is now in the British Empire, and that's not ideal, but it'll have to do. So it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to press out, and we can actually claim Greater Khorasan, which I'm going to go ahead and do. The gates to the east have been breached. Now press on. Indeed. So that is fine. It is time to put that cut in, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to do some construction. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGar, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.